Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you how we can insert another document as an object in this form into Microsoft Word. So whether you're trying to insert another Excel, you can either call it as inserting or embedding another document within Microsoft Word. So you could be looking either to insert a Excel document or a PowerPoint deck or another Microsoft Word document itself. If you're looking to kind of embed it in this format where it's just attached as a object, and if you just click on this object you will be able to open that specific document. So I'll be showing you quickly how we can do that in this video. Okay, so in order to illustrate that, let me just quickly open up a new blank document. So you're going to be able to insert this document in the form of an object from the insert tab. So click on the insert tab, and inside the insert tab come into this text column or sub tab, and within this sub tab you can see something called as an object. So once you click on the drop down next to the object, select object, and here there are two things that we need to understand. The first thing is that you can insert another document either as an entirely new document, which means that document does not exist so far. You're creating a completely new document and inserting in this specific location. That is one option. The second option is you can insert an existing document, which is maybe in your local desktop or somewhere you have saved an existing document, be it an Excel, PowerPoint, Word, or any other document. It has already been created and it has been saved somewhere, and you want to insert that or embed that into this document as an object. So these are the two ways in which you can insert an object. Suppose you're looking to insert a completely brand new object which has not been created yet. Let's say you just want to insert here saying something like please find a link to the employee retention rate data. So let's say this is supposed to be on an Excel workbook, and let's just say that there is no Excel document so far that has been created, but you want to create it and insert it over here. In that case, what you can do is click on this object and you can create new. So there is a create new option and there's a create from file option. So when we click on create new, what it does is basically it is going to insert a completely new Excel document over here which does not exist so far, and it's just going to get created right now. For example, if you want to insert an Excel worksheet, you can click on the Microsoft Excel worksheet. Of course, there are multiple options over here where there is, different versions of Microsoft Excel as well, and there are Excel charts as well. There is a Microsoft Word document itself, docx document that you can insert, or you can insert PowerPoint documents. You can just go and select the straightforward simple one, Microsoft PowerPoint slide, or you can also select a Word document which will be somewhere at the bottom. So depending on what type of document you're looking to insert, you can explore what all options are available over here. But quickly for our reference and understanding right now, I'm going to try to insert an Excel worksheet right here. So another thing that happens over here is I don't want to insert the workbook itself over here. I want to display it as an icon. So I want to tick this option. If I tick this option, it is going to display in this manner. However, if I don't tick this option, we'll just quickly see what happens. It's just going to insert an Excel workbook into this document itself right here in this manner. So I don't want it to be part of the document. I want it to be in the form of an object. So what I'll do is I'll just undo this action, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to insert an object, and from create new I select Microsoft Excel worksheet and I want to display it as an icon. So I tick this. Now I also want to rename this file because it doesn't make any sense. So I can click on change icon, and here it allows me to change the name of this. Now I can change it to employee retention rate, and I click on OK. Now what happens is it is going to open up a separate Excel workbook, but this has been inserted as an object over here. Now let's say that I have data with me, or I'm creating a brand new worksheet and have not created it so far. I'll just click on this, double click on it, and it's going to open up this workbook called as employee retention rate. And now what I can do is I can make changes to this. I can insert column names like employee name, employee ID, and things like this. I can make changes to this and save this document. So I'm clicking on Control S on my keyboard. So this document has gotten saved. And what you also need to remember is that this specific document that you have embedded over here is not saved on any desktop location or any cloud location. It is just explicitly been created inside this worksheet, and it is a document that has been embedded inside this. It does not have a separate saved location of its own. By that, what do I mean is that if you notice many times, if we click on this part of the document, it usually shows us where has this document been saved. You can notice here that this specific document of mine that I'm creating has been saved to OneDrive. But if you look at this specific object that you have created, what happens is it has not been saved anywhere. It just displays as a worksheet in document 1. So it's just a worksheet that is embedded inside the document, but it does not have a specific location on the desktop or on the cloud where it is getting saved. It's just been saved inside that specific Word document that you have inserted. So this is how you're able to create a new document, and any changes that you make to it, even after you just go ahead and close the document, if you open it again, you will be able to see the changes that you're making, and they will always be saved. All the changes that you make will be saved to this specific object within this Word document. If you see, the employee ID and employee data is there. So this is how you insert as a new document. In the same manner, you can go ahead and try to insert maybe a PowerPoint deck, or you can also insert a Word document, or the different options that are available to be inserted as an object. So the next thing that we will see is inserting as a existing document. That is, we are not creating a new document, but there is some document that's already existing maybe on my local desktop folder somewhere here. I've saved it and I want to insert that. How do I insert that? So let's just say, for example, I have a resume of mine and I kind of want to insert that over here. This I already have it locally saved on my desktop. So how do I insert that as an object? Again, we go back to object, and instead of create new this time, we basically do it as a create from file. So how do I get back this document? Now basically I need to go and browse the location where it is. So I'll just click on browse, and it is somewhere in my, let's just see where it is. This is where it is. So I'm just going to click on this and insert it. Alright, so now over here we have two more options, and as we have already seen, you need to choose the display as icon option, obviously, because if you don't display it as an icon, what will happen is the entire contents of this document that I'm looking to insert will get inserted at this place, because I've placed my cursor here and I've clicked on insert object, and if I insert the object without ticking the option called as display as icon, what will happen is all the contents of that Word document will directly just appear here as plain text. So you can just see that quickly for your reference. So this is how it comes, but I don't want this, so I just do an undo option over there, and I'll go back to object, create from file. I will browse it, and once I've selected it, I insert it, and I basically want to, first things first, I want to display it as an icon. Now suppose I just want to change the name of it, then I can come to change icon option over here, and I can change the name if I want to change. I'll just change it to employee resume. Now the next option that you need to understand over here is link to file. So basically what does this option mean is that if you do not check this option, what happens is it is not going to link this object that you're inserting to the original file. What that means is if you make any changes in the original document, then those changes will not reflect in the object that you have inserted over here if you do not tick this option. However, if you tick this option, what happens is any changes that you make to this original document, which was somewhere in my downloads, any changes that are made to that original document will always reflect inside this object that has been inserted here as well. So if you know for a fact that this document that you're inserting over here or embedding over here is constantly going to get updated, then definitely do remember to tick this option of link to file, because in that case it will ensure that any changes that are made to the original document will always reflect here as well, and you will be able to open the most latest updated version of that document when you open this document where it has been embedded. However, there can be scenarios where you don't want the changes to reflect over here, and you want at this point in time whatever content is present in this document, I want only that content to be available over here, and any changes that happen to it, I don't want it to be reflected because I'm trying to freeze the content over here. So in such scenarios, what you can do is you can uncheck this option so that any changes made to the original document will not reflect in this object that has been inserted over here. So if you click on this tick mark, you'll see the same thing. It says here changes to the source file will be reflected in your document if you choose this option. So for my purpose right now, I'm just keeping it ticked and I click on OK. So the document has been inserted. So you can just double click on it and it'll take you to the original document. And what happens in the original document is, since I've chosen link to the document, any changes made there will always reflect over here. So whenever I come into this document and click on this object, it will always have the latest, most updated version of that document over here. Right? So you can give this a try quickly, and you can try to play around between these two options as well, where your link to file and and remove the link to file. You can just make changes to your original document and see what happens if it reflects or not over here. And you can remove the link to file also and see what happens if you make changes to your original document. It will not reflect over here because when you uncheck the link to file option, right? So this is how you can insert any other kind of documents or workbooks into your Microsoft Word document as an object, and you can always click on that object and it can also display the latest, most up-to-date versions of the other document that has been embedded as well. So go give it a try and let me know. Feel free to drop your questions if any in the comment section, and I'll try to help you out. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.